The last 15 minutes of fame of Sean Kingston's career is officially over, but that's not even the worst of his problems. Sean Kingston is facing almost a decade in jail, and he's the reason why. His mama is currently in custody facing a decade in jail as well. Sometime last year, Sean Kingston and his mama was a subject of a federal raid. They raided his home and they arrested both his mama and Sean Kingston. Well, Christy and Janice, we have just learned that this is the home of singer and producer Sean Kingston. We are standing right off of Griffin Road and 178th Avenue. Off in the distance there we were watching as these deputies were initially standing outside of the home, but in the last 15 minutes or so I can tell you that they have now moved inside. Sean Kingston is a thief, but he's the worst type of thief. He's the thief who wants to impose the burden of his financial troubles on everybody else. You see, Sean Kingston at some point was really rich, now he's really broke, but instead of acknowledging he's really broke, he still wants to live like he's really rich, so he would impose the burdens of his financial instability on others by getting into financial agreements with other people, knowing he can't, fulfill those obligations, with the intentions to defraud and steal from him. In a complaint we obtained from the Barrard Kirk of Courts, we learned that a company by the name of Verver Entertainment alleges that Kingston partially paid for a 232 in television and entertainment system, but following the installation never paid for that product in full. Allegedly, the complaint also goes on to allege Kingston use his name and celebrity status to scam people out of products and services, never paying for them. Well, I just spoke with the attorney Dennis Card, who represents Ver Entertainment. Here's what he told me. He has basically a sales pitch that he goes through to defraud people. He induces them into giving them really expensive things. We know that our property is inside this house right here, so as soon as the raid takes place, we're going to have a crew of people in there to assemble and take it back to its rightful owner. But at this time the complaint alleges he could be facing charges that include fraud and breach of contract. This isn't the first time or second time or third time that we've heard Sean Kingston get accused of this exact same scheme, nor is it the first time that Sean Kingston will be in front of a judge facing fraud charges, right? But we will get to that a little later in this video. But this time around, Sean Kingston wasn't home. His mama was actually the only one arrested after the raid. To think that that man is somewhere right now snorting blueberry muffins and Twinkies while his mama is in handcuffs, being put in the back of a patrol car on national television is crazy. Officials confirmed that Sean Kingston's mama was taken into custody on what they would describe as fraud and theft charges. Not your mama co. Now Sean Kingston took to his Instagram to respond back to running off on the plug for the 150th time, no pun intended. Sean Muroff stated, "People love negative energy. I am good, and so is my mother. My lawyers are handling everything as we speak. If I'm Sean Kingston's mom, bro, I'm looking around like Mr. Krabs, bro, because we've heard this before." Sean Kingston flexes things he can't afford. You got one Cuban T, got another Cuban Y, saying I out jewelry, why I still got it. Turns out he never paid for these. He also bought $300,000 worth of jewelry with bounced checks. Yikes. And when he was asked about it, well, he just blamed the store. These people they are very, very money hungry, and they only look at clients as a dollar sign, and that's not right. And if that wasn't enough, he did it again. This time he bought a $46,000 Rolex, but only paid for half of it. It seems like some people just never learn. And of course the completely innocent Sean Kingston was arrested on a $45,000 bail and pled out to the watch. Sean Kingston had ample time to change his life before the feds came. When he was just getting caught up in these little petty thefts, he had time to change his life. He had time to not get his mama involved, but he didn't learn his lesson. Every time he got called for doing something scandalous, he would just move on and find another victim. He would just deny it on social media, move on and find another victim, and so on and so on and so on. Eventually he done scammed enough people he couldn't go to nobody else, and the Fed had to step in to stop him from defrauding people. Now here's a flashback. Before we get into the trial, here's a flashback of all the times that Sean Kingston has defrauded people that we publicly know of, like the last time Sean Kingston almost got his mama in some real serious trouble. Sean Kingston actually pulled a firearm on this lady because they wouldn't let him scam them. Sean Kingston approached a local jeweler whose name is Sean, coincidentally, to purchase over $100,000 worth for jewelry. Now the local jeweler's home knew Sean Kingston was a scammer, so he tried to warn his homie, but his homie really wanted this $100,000 deal to work, so he said, FF it, and was still going to go through with the deal with Sean Kingston might to buy jewelry. No, my customer called me up and say I want to sell some jewelry to Sean Kingston. I said, yo, be careful, this guy's a grow, he owes me money, I'm sing him. Sean Kingston was supposed to give $75,000 cash and a trade-in watch. When they pulled up right on cue, it was some mess and BS. Sean Kingston didn't have $75,000 cash, even though Sean Kingston told the jeweler to pick up the money on this day and time. He didn't have the money, so he said, okay, how about this? Right, take $224,000 cash, and then take this other watch as collateral, and then tomorrow I will give you $50,000 in the trading watch that we agreed on. So they said, okay, cool, it's weird you told us to come and pick up the money, but you have the money, but okay, cool. What could go wrong? They must not know who Sean Kingston is, right? So the following day the associate pulls up. Sean Kingston isn't home, so he gets his mama to go to the bank and withdraw the $50,000. Right, the associate dropped the mama off to the bank, got the $50,000. They get back to Sean Kingston's home. Sean Kingston's mom hands her the $50,000. Say, here, give me the jewelry. The associate said, no, it was $50K plus the trade-in watch, which is very expensive, and we need that trade-in watch that Sean Kingston agreed to include within the deal. So the mom called Sean Kingston to come to the house. He gets to the house, and despite already agreeing to the deal, he quickly tries to switch up the terms and starts to renegotiate and host the associate hostage for 3 hours, trying to get her to take the $75,000 and not to trade and watch, even though the jewelry is worth over $150,000, and the only reason they are accepting $775,000 cash from him is because he also agreed to give the trade-in watch. So eventually they couldn't agree, so Sean Kingston says, okay, here, bring back my money and I'll give you back the jewelry. I don't want it no more. So the lady says, okay, but could we both go together to get the jewelry, cause I don't trust that I'll be able to get this jewelry back from you as soon as I leave this crib. You could go anywhere with this jewelry. So they drive back downtown for them to retrieve the $24,000 from Sean Kingston. And this is where the lady would take over the story. I'm sorry, how are you? Good, nice to meet you. So what happened? I work at a J-Star. I met Sean King. We were going back and forth about surprise. He said, I don't want to do it no more. He had all my jewelry. He said, I don't want to do it no more, just take me to get the money. We had picked up a certain amount yesterday. We picked up $24,000 from his mother yesterday, and I said, okay, well, I had them leaving with the guys cause I don't want to hold $24,000. So I said, okay, well, we'll go pick it up. We all drove down here, and then I was like, give me the jewelry back. He's going to go get your money. I'm not letting you out the car. You're not getting your jewelry until I count my money. He counted his money, his friend counting wrong. I had some of the jewelry on my lap in a box, and then his friend counting it wrong, and he was like, this not enough. So he reached back and he grabbed the box, but he didn't tell me what he was doing. So we fighting over the box. So we started tussling, and then he just reached in his pants cause he had his gun in his pants. He reached his pants, got he put the gun back, and then just turned around. He you going to get my __. I don't got all money. You need to fall the __ back because you all the money is there. You need to slow down and count instead of getting on hype and rowdy, arguing back and forth, and then I guess he got nervous cause I didn't get nervous about the gun. So then he was all right. I was let me count since your friend can't count. So he was count. I counted, it came out right, and then he was giving me a hard time. Get the I got the end. I just got out. I just left, but every time, literally every time he just finds a way to get out of these situations. He's still not in jail for this yet, but Sean Kingston scamming just don't stop at jewelry. Do y'all remember the time that Sean Kingston disturbed our timeline to let us know that he bought a jet? Just bought a jet. I just bought a J. Just bought. I just bought. Hey, God is amazing. When they tell you they can't, you can't. They hating on you. They want you to stop and try to make you get in depression and feel less about yourself. Tell them __. You, hey, I ain't going to lie, it's bless. Though you did, you see that I got rooms on room. Man, this __. Hold 14 people ain't going to be 14 in here, though we ain't going to pack it out like that now. But yeah, Brandon, what's popping, my boy? Going on. Sean Leaf, got out of this, man, please. But it turns out, surprise, he Tried to finesse them folks too for their jet time up how Sean Kingston scammed me my company so I am a private jet broker for Nava Jets and I also run their social media so one day we got a message from Sean Kingston he was interested in one of our planes for sale and came to Palm Beach with his family to see the plane. He said he was going on tour and wanted this plane ready soon and there was no Wi-Fi so we flew the plane from Palm Beach to Fort Lauderdale for our mechanics to install the Wi-Fi for him for it to be ready for his tour and this was out of our expense we have to pay the pilots and for the fuel and everything. He came again to Fort Lauderdale, brought his family and friends. We popped the champagne, we shook hands, agreed on a price and they signed the contract. The contract stated that the payment is due in full within the 3 days of signing and Sean was posting that this is his jet, that he bought it with not even $1 down. He's telling us that we can be in him in Justin Bieber's new music video, just leading us on saying that he would promote NAA jets. Are y'all starting to see the trend here? He uses his seal if I'm just let the lawyer in the beginning of the video describe exactly how Sean Kingston LS and finesse victims he has. Basically a sales pitch that he goes through to defraud people. He induces them into giving them really expensive things. We know that our property is inside this house right here, so as soon as the raid takes place, we're going to have a crew of people in there to disassemble it and take it back to its rightful owner. Whole time they thinking they about to get paid. Sean Kingston trying to finesse him to let him get the jet in exchange for promotion. This yo COU a cold dude see and just a bunch of crap. When the third day came and the payment was due, they went ghost and they blocked us. They said it was our obligation to help find them a plane since the plane wasn't ready. There was no Wi-Fi installed, but we were trying to help them for 3 weeks to sign the contract so the plane would be ready in time for him to fly to Vegas for his show. But then I googled Sean Kingston and this is what he does. He's a con artist and he's a scammer and he scams people. He was stealing jewelry in New York City and just at the end of the day he's not a good person and I just don't know how you could do that to someone when the contract is signed and I don't know. Listen man, I'm not saying don't finesse bro, I'm just saying bro, just keep your mama out of it man. But he didn't keep his mama out of it. When the trial started we got access to text messages and other things that truly showed how Sean Kingston got his mama involved and how she was actually warning him not to do the things he was doing alongside his mother Janice Turner, also charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and more. You didn't nadan to. We heard from Turner herself in court. We heard from case agents from several victims who claimed were all swindled out of high-dollar luxury goods, things like this colossal TV, a bulletproof Cadillac Escalade, even hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of watches from jewelers, and then given phony wire transfer receipts to allegedly try and convince them that they'd been paid. The items all seized in a raid on their Southwest ranch's home. In closing arguments, federal prosecutors shared dozens of text messages between mother and son as proof, specifically mom worried he had no money for all these jewelers, writing what's up with you and all this jewelry bro, focus on your craft. According to prosecutors, he responds in another message, mother you don't listen to me and I told you to make a fake receipt. She says please screenshot and send it to him. The defense saying that some of the payments were made, some of the goods were given back, but prosecutors are arguing that doesn't change that this happened. There are 33 fake receipts of wire transfers. We're going to wait and hear what that jury says. It's got to be unanimous. I can't even begin to boggle my head around this. This is odd behavior. This is very odd. Bro, if you don't have the money to pay people, then why take the items? You know, beforehand you don't have the money, so then why continue to buy luxury things? Yo, this man was disgustingly spending money bro that he didn't have. This man bought a $100,000 TV bro. Excuse me, I can understand bro falling behind on your bills, right? Falling behind on things like rent, you know, the water bill, the light bill, but you're falling behind on jewelry on a $100,000 TV. Outrageous, makes no sense. You're falling behind on things that you cannot afford and you're going into the purchase knowing you can't afford it and having your mom create fake wire transfers and fake receipts so they can think you pay them to get the items in your possession when you didn't, and then you run off with it. Bro, you're trifling. Now all the people who we just mentioned earlier in this video, they all came to court to testify. Right now at 5:30, rapper and singer Sean Kingston back in court today for day 3 of this federal fraud trial, and more of Kingston's victims had taken the stand today describing how they say they lost money in various business dealings with him. Local T's Roy Roses joining us live in Fort Lauderdale tonight with the latest from the courtroom. Roy, Christy and Louie, today we got a chance to hear from a car salesman, a luxury watch salesman, who say they were both duped by Kingston and his mother when they were provided fake wire transfer receipts and never paid for their products. About what happened in court today, singer Con Anderson, better known by his stage name as Sean Kingston, and his mother Janice Turner back in the downtown Fort Lauderdale federal courthouse for day 3 of their trial. The two now facing multiple federal wire fraud charges prosecutors say stem from allegations the pair would falsify payment documents as a way of defrauding businesses and people out of luxury items like $115,000 colossal TV high price watches and vehicles. Wednesday, the government calling car salesman Andre Bush to testify, who claims to have met with Kingston at his Southwest Ranch's rental home to sell him a Cadillac Escalade. Bush testifying he was given a fake wire transfer receipt and never received the funds, but when he attempted to take the luxury SUV back to the dealership, he said Kingston became aggravated and refused to release it. Only after receiving a down payment of $20,000 was the vehicle left at the home. The defense arguing multiple payments were made to the dealership totaling $70,000, and because the SUV was ultimately taken back to the dealer when his home was raided by Brow Sheriff deputies, Kingston was the only one who lost in the deal. A luxury watch salesman from Maisel Jewelers testifying he released a $285,000 watch similar to this one when he said he was promised future celebrity client. It was only after that salesman too allegedly received a fake wire transfer receipt he said he realized he was being scammed. He was obviously found guilty. Now catch this, okay, so apparently he broke down in court when they was found guilty. All right, he broke down in court. His mama, for some reason which I don't know why, she was taken into custody. He was allowed to come home to waste sentence him, but she was taken into custody. I still don't know why that is. But when the officials was taken away, his mother, he tells them, protect my mother as they face a decade in prison. Bro, it's nobody's job to protect your mama but your own. It's your job to protect your mama, bro, and you put your mama in harm's way after literally causing all of this. He took to his Instagram after court to say, lately they've been trying to break me on the daily. Now check this out. While his mama is in a cold jail cell right now, he takes to his Instagram. If you look in the bottom right hand corner, just you see that tiny image right there. So catch this. So I screenshot it and blew it up. So while his mama is rotting away in a cold prison, Sean Kingston is promoting a new song. Bro, you got to be a special POS, bro, you got to be a special POS, bro, you promoting a song after you are the reason why your mama is currently in a jail's facing a decade in prison. Yo, your mama is of the age right now, I think she's in her 50s, maybe 60. She's in the AG range right now, bro, where your mama could possibly die in jail, bro, and you are out here promoting a song. Don't be like Sean Kingston, man. Don't be like, yo, this dude is ridiculous, bro. Y'all let me know in the comments section, what do you guys think about this? Alright, do you guys feel like Sean Kingston is to blame for his mama? Alright, do you guys feel like a decade is good enough? Let me know, okay? And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out why a very reputable 60s members is upset with Break Baby for saying this about Nipsey Hussle in his